Of those two interviews, starting off with Frankie Dettori.
Your year, I think, was topped off this time round. 500 group race victories. We're just having a little look back at Debarsim and talk about saving one of your best for last. This was awesome, wasn't it, on Arc Weekend?
Yeah. A little bit of a panic moment at this stage because I couldn't quite get out. And, you know, Longchamp, the rail is always the best place. And once I found a little opening, then I fired him up there and the horse did the rest, you know. When you have good horses like that, they always get you out of trouble. But, you know, what he did was pretty remarkable.
I mean, he quickened up from nowhere, but I've got so many favourites that you've ridden along the way, the best you've ridden, or you say Dubai Millennium, but horses, you know, so many superstars along the way. Have you got a few highlights, horses that you really remember? Dale Army's one of my favourites. Yeah,
obviously, Dale Army, and there's so many I've rode. You know, Lamtada was my first one, and then Balanchine, and then, the big ones, Fantastic Light, Dubai Millennium, Saki, Dailami, I mean, they were proper, you know, 135 plus rating. So, you know, they don't it was quite spoiled because I had them about 3 or 4 years in a row. And, you know, and now in the last couple of years, I haven't had such a tool underneath me. Then you realize how good they really were, you know. I mean, the epic battle I had with Galileo in Ireland, you know, it just shows you what kind of class horses they were. They were fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, they were amazing. We're going to be speaking to Tony McCoy a little bit later on. He waited for ages to win the National. You're waiting for ages to win the Derby. You managed to do it?
15 times each, I think.
Was that right? 15 each?
Yeah.
But it came good. You came good at the 15th attempt anyway, authorised. What was that like, the final furlong at Epsom?
Well, look, I was in the whole week. I was a bag of nerves because, you know, it was quite obvious when you ever was 4 to 5 in the Derby, you got by far the best horse underneath you, and I was, you know, try to make it as simple as possible, not to do anything stupid, and like I say, when I hit the last furlong, I just concentrated. I tried to keep both hands on the reins and try to cross the line because, you know, the hullabaloo of Epsom, you know, people throwing newspapers and stuff. I didn't want him to jinx or do nothing stupid.
Yeah.
But, you know,
just to dip in here and say there's an objection at Wolverhampton,
Tony will tell you later that people were going on about it for so long. What quite rightly so, it is the most important race in the calendar, and for the thing I achieved, is the one what eluded me for so long. So it was just a relief, you know, that then I've done it, and, you know, I'm quite proud of it, and now I'm looking for my number 2.
And so you should be. That's on the chalkboard. A couple of questions about that a little bit later on, but we spoke to Gary Wiltshire last week regarding your Magnificent 7. Since then, he's written a book. The BBC want him. He's on every radio station. He's in every bookmaker's.
Eating bread and cheese.
He looked that day, he thought it was the end of the world, but it's made him.
I'm surprised he never hired any snipers. He put me down. He still speaks to me. Look, it's, you know, 300 years of horse racing. It's never happened before.
Now, that question, Jim McGrath actually said, do you ever think you will emulate Scobie Breesley by riding a Derby winner in your 50s?
Well, look at this. I like, you know, in this day and age, I mean, Michael Kinnan and Pat Edsley in the castle and my father, they all go past 50. I still feel that I'm pretty healthy, and as long as I'm still enjoying it, I'll go as long as I can, you know. So I haven't got a time limit, but we'll see, you know. Like I said, it all depends on falls and jobs that you got, and if you still enjoy it in a few years down the line. You have to put all these things in as a factor, but right now I'm still loving it, enjoying it. It's part of my life. Like I said, I've been doing it now for 5 years, and you know, it's all the kind of your life's program, you know, like the racing calendar, and because you've been doing it day in and day out for so long, it becomes part of your life, and it's very hard to let go. So I'm going to try to go as long as I can.
For sure. And people don't realise, they see you laughing and joking, Frankie Dettori. There's a serious side as well. Do you still probably not get the Cambridge Evening News to look at the next day's racing when it's a big day? You've got the computer now and everything else. Do you still go into all the draws and possible scenarios the night before? I
think you have to.
Yeah.
You have to. If you don't do it, you're only cheating yourself, and you're cheating the employees that they're employing you. I'm sort of person that I have great pride on what I do and to be successful. So you have to do your own work, and I think it's part and parcel of be successful, and not just the form. I also do train every day, and I try to keep as fit and focused as I can. And but look, in any sport, there's a lot of things behind the scene. It's like the Wayne Rooney doesn't just pick up the ball and goes and shoots at the penalty. He's probably done his own work with goalkeepers and practice at home, and it's part of every sportsman's life.
For sure. Frankel, what's it been like staring at his backside all year?
Yeah, you absolutely said the truth there. I've never seen his face. I'll be honest, I raced with him last year, but sometimes two-year-olds can be very precocious. But I think what he did in the Guineas, it will forever be on my mind as probably one of the best performances I ever seen. And you can compare it with the Dubai Millennium in the World Cup or the Seabird in the Ark. I mean, I think what he did that day was astonishing. I mean, he went on to win other great races, as you can see now at Ascot. But what sticks out to me was his Guineas win.